There is a specific way that you should be using AI to improve your communication. Over the last 3 years, I have dipped in and out of AI. Some things have been good and some things not so good. And I'm going to show you the most useful ones. In this video, I'm going to go through how to improve your sentences to create that snap for when you're speaking, how to create a personalized routine that you can do every day that will take no more than 15 minutes, that will tenfold your communication, and how to improve your improv communication, which is this. But before I go into that, if you want 30 ways to accompany your AI, then check the link below. I will send you 30 ways in 30 days that you can eliminate your weak communication. And that is completely free. Put your email in and I will email it across. Let's get into the first one. You need to film yourself. Film yourself for 5 minutes unscripted. It can seem a bit of a daunting task. When I first started, getting my phone like this, putting the camera on, and filming like this was very intimidating. It would make me stutter, it would make me stumble, and it would make my mind go blank. And for that reason, I couldn't do a 5-minute task of speaking to a camera without messing up too much. My mind would not know what to say, because looking at the camera just felt awkward. I could be on FaceTime completely fine, but as soon as it's a camera, 10 times harder. So what I did at the start was put some headphones in, and I just put it on voice record, and then I went on a walk. Because then that still allows you to speak, it still allows you to be free, but you don't have a camera right in front of your face. Pick any topic that you want. I recommend picking a topic that you're comfortable with. I picked why I started MMA. I knew that like the back of my hand. It was so easy to do, but it's still unscripted. So you will have little nuances that chat will be able to pick up on. And this is how you're going to utilize ChatGPT. You're going to paste your transcript in, and then you are going to say, "Hello ChatGPT, you are my communication coach. This is a transcript of one of my speeches. Please be brutally honest and tell me how I can improve my communication from this transcript alone. I want to create a punch with my sentences so everyone remembers when they leave the door." Send, and then wait to see what chat says. I've not done it with this one before, so it's going to be quite interesting. Your transitions are weak, your punchlines are buried, your pacing is 80% detail, 20% point, reverse it. So you see there's lots of bits that I can work on. You want to go through and see which one resonates with you the best. And from there, that is what you're going to work on. And that leads me on to the next one. How do you create a personalized routine? Well, you've got two options. You can use the stuff that chat has sent you, or you can watch that video yourself and you can pick up on 3 things that you want to improve upon. So when you're looking, just watch and see what you think, I should be doing better. And it can be a bit cringy because you're thinking, my voice sounds really strange. Well, here's the thing. When you speak, you hear it through bone conduction and air conduction. But when you listen to it back on your phone, it is just air conduction, which is why it sounds weird when you listen to yourself back. The first time I heard myself, I was thinking, is that me? It's when your mum's playing an old video and you're like, "Mum, is that me?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "It doesn't sound like me." And then she's looking at you pretty strange. But the thing is, you are listening from a different perspective. And because it sounds different, it makes you feel a bit cringy. You're like, I don't sound like that. And it's not cringy, it's just unfamiliar. You're not used to that voice. So that is a hurdle that you've got to get by. But just remember, you are listening to it from a different perspective, air conduction instead of bone conduction. But watch yourself back and pick up on 3 things. And if you don't know 3 things you're doing wrong, check the link below and I will send you things that you should be looking for, that you will become aware of. That's the first link that will help you eliminate your weak communication. But by knowing what to look for, it's a lot easier to find it. Take the red car theory. If I asked you, how many red cars have you seen today? You're probably going to say none. But now, because I've asked you that question, tomorrow, I bet you see a red car. And it's not because there was no red cars today, it's because you are now aware of the red cars. So when you know what you need to be aware of, it becomes a lot easier to spot it, which is why the link below is a great link to click. It's free, by the way. But from there, you can go into your next stage about creating a routine. That speech that I did was about 6 months ago, I think. And after watching that, I wanted to improve on my pause, my vocal variety, and also my articulation, the clarity of my speech. After watching that speech back, I think I need to improve on my pause, my vocal variety, and my clarity of speech, because I sometimes get the TH and the F mixed up with the mouth movements. Full stop. With what you've sent and what I've sent, please create a 15-minute workout that I can do every day working on my foundations. Send that off to ChatGPT, wait for your reply. Here's the brutal truth, Swayno. Your delivery issues aren't complicated. You just haven't been drilling them with precision. So I'm giving you a 15-minute daily foundation workout. Beautiful. So number 1, breath control. Number 2 is clarity drills, and I actually do this still, THs and fuzz. Then we go into some pause discipline. Then we go into some vocal variety builder, then articulation and speed control. Now that is a perfect 15-minute workout that you can do every single day. So you need to get your transcript, use chat's advice, use your advice, and then tell it to create you a workout for 15 minutes. If you've only got 10 minutes in the day spare, make it 10 minutes. But by using your opinion and chat's opinion, you make a solid workout plan. And that moves me on to the next stage, the last stage that you can use chat to improve your communication. And that is your improvisation skills. It's probably one of the most daunting aspects of communication. In Toastmasters, there's an activity, an exercise that we do where you have to go on stage. They give you a random question and then you have 2 minutes to answer the question, like that. They'll say the question, you'll think about it, and then you'll go. But it's improvisation, it's on the spot. It could be a random topic. You might not know anything about the topic, but when you're at work, someone might ask you a random question. And like that, you're gonna have to improvise and give them a solid answer, which is why this is a skill that you need to get very good at. Let's get chat up again. Hiya chat, I also want to use you to help with my improv skills. Full stop. Please give me topics that I can answer with a framework or a story. Full stop. I'm doing this so I can improve my improvisation skills, especially for when I'm in work situations. Send one question at a time so I can't see them beforehand. Thank you. And when I first started doing this, I would do it without chat. I would go on a walk and I'd think of the question. But the problem was, I knew I was going on a walk, which means I thought about the question an hour before I was going on the walk. So by the time I was actually answering the question, it wasn't quite improv anymore because I'd already drilled the answer and drilled combinations in my head. So when it came to that time, boom, I could bang it out like that. And that is not true improvisation. True improvisation is when you get the question and you answer it there and then, which is why chat has to be used for this. Because subconsciously, if you know you're going to do this later on, you will think of a question. Trust me, you will. I'll give you one. All right. A time when saying yes actually made your life better. When I train too hard, I get these mad migraines. So I've got to be very cautious about how hard I push myself. And being in Thailand and getting used to the humidity, I've got to be extra cautious. So we're at training yesterday, we're at jiu-jitsu. I've already done my drills. I've done 4 rounds positional sparring. Now it's on for the main sparring, the full sparring. So I thought to myself, all right, Swayno, you've already done 4 rounds. Let's do 5 more. So that would mean 9 overall, and let's call it a day. So I was like, sweet. I'm on round number 3. I'm feeling a little bit of pressure in my head, which is normal, completely fine. But I'm also gasping for oxygen. I could easily have stopped then because I was knackered. Round 4, a bit more pressure. I'm thinking, ooh, this is getting a bit close to my threshold here. But like I said, we'll do 1 more, we'll get to 5. Get to 5, boom, I do it, I sit down, feel a bit more tension now, but it's completely fine. I know the threshold, and I know this is a good level. I'll feel a little bit of tension for the next 20 minutes and then it'll go away. But then this dude came to me, this big 110 kilo dude, and he went, do you want a round, bro? And I don't know what it was, but something in my body just took over. Well, I know what it was. It was my ego, and I didn't really want to disappoint. I didn't want to say no. So I said yes. I said, yes, I'll do that round. We did the round, and he smashed me, absolutely smashed me. Everything that I tried It didn't work. Tried to get up, smashed me to the floor. I tried to sweep him, which is going from bottom to top, smashed me to the floor. I tried to choke him, smashed me. And just to make myself feel better, after the round, I watched his next round, and he smashed another high-level black belt on the mat, so it made me feel a lot better about myself. But by saying yes in that moment, when I should have said no, actually cost me a lot more later on in the day. Because I could tell after that session, there's too much tension in my head now, too much pressure. I know I'm gonna have a migraine later on. That's what I thought in the moment. And I had a migraine until this morning. It lasted the full day. And by saying yes right there, it made the full day a lot harder, because the price that I paid then wasn't worth the cost it was later on. That was just an example of an improv speech, there and then. So try and do 3 or 4 topics a day in your routine, and that will work wonders. And that is 3 ways that you can use chat to help your communication. But chat won't fix everything. That's what I found out about using AI. If you use it too much, it won't make your communication better. It will make your communication worse. Which is why on exercise number 2, I got you to get your own opinion, because chat is not a human, it's a robot. And you want to think like a human, because that's how you connect to people, by being a human, by being vulnerable, by taking your personality and putting it in your communication. Which is why I take chat with a pinch of salt. I get it to guide me, I get it to create workout plans for myself, but I don't let it control everything that I do. But it can still improve my communication. Like if you look down my tabs here, tongue twisters. I do this routine at the moment every single day. And once it gets too easy, I will get chat to make me a new routine. I get it to do improv exercises. But when it comes to writing speeches or giving speeches, sometimes I won't take it into consideration because I want my personality in there. I don't want it to be wrote by a robot. And that's why you should be aware of the things you're doing with your communication and not always rely on a robot. And if you're not aware, the link below, how to eliminate your weak communication, 30 ways in 30 days. Check it out, put your email in, completely free. If you don't like it, unsubscribe. And that's this video. What was yesterday's video? Less is more. And if you want to know why the best speakers in the world get straight to the point and they don't ramble and they create that punch with their lines, you should probably watch this video.